So it's that time again. No reviews, no kits, no drama, just nails.
This is the intro to Long Hair Pretty Nail Show.
Yeah, these need some love. We're just gonna be doing the right hand today. I have already taken off my other nails from last week. They were the aquarium nails. As you can see, they have come off in one piece. I used the Curve Life glue and remover for this one, and I'm kind of here and there with the remover. It's these glues. Well, glue and remover. I'm kind of iffy about the remover. As you can see, it did work, but I don't know. It kind of hurt. I gotta edit the little video, but yeah. I'm glad that I was able to get the glue off, but I don't know about that. That was a little painful. I even like bruised my pinky nail getting it off. So yeah. But anyway, let me go ahead. We're gonna push back my cuticles. I already kind of started a little bit, but I was like, let me just go ahead and do all of that. And I'm going to be using my trusty Jello Peel Off base coats because that doesn't hurt me as bad as that other remover did. All right, so I'm going to use this flame bit to do my cuticle work and turn I'm about to say my nail lamp, my nail drill. We're just going to keep that at 8,000 RPMs, and we need to put it in reverse. And just power this on. And just kind of getting up the remaining glue residue and tidying up the cuticle area. Okay, you know, just a little here and there. And then going in with my sanding band, I'm just gonna take the shine off. And I still have this at 8 RPMs. We're taking it a little more gentler because they kind of went through it a couple days ago, getting them nails off. Like so. And this is basically what I do to prep. Just making sure we're getting all of the white from the pockets and the sides. And I am just going to file these down a bit. File them down to nothing. We're not gonna need them, and I want them as short as possible. Taking my alcohol, we're just gonna wipe off the dust. Oh, like so. Next, going in with the Jello Peel Off base. Got a new bottle here. Just putting on a good amount. Not too thick, but not too thin. This is the barrier between your nail and the nail extension. So we want to make sure there's enough product on there that when it is time to take it off, it'll come off. And go ahead and give that a cure. And I just like to wipe the tacky layer off. All right, so we're gonna be using tips today, and I have these very old. This box has lasted me years and years. But I like these tips because they're thin, so they're not gonna add any extra bulk, and it kind of helps me, like, especially when I want to do a different type of shape, or I might just do coffin, I don't know. But anyway, I like working with these because they're thinner. So let me go ahead and pick out my sizes. And I'm just gonna use brush on nail glue, and we're gonna glue these babies on. Oh, my little bruised man. But go ahead and glue that on, and I like to hold that in place for about 5 to 10 seconds. And I just hold my nail out straight, you know, this way, so I know that the tip is straight. I hope it's straight. And then I like to squeeze the corners just to make sure those are down as well, like so. All right, I got the tips on, and we're just gonna cut these a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. I want a little length on this one. So I normally kind of just clip the ends. Well, the tips. Once I clip the tips, that's kind of like the perfect length I want to keep it at. And then I'll, you know, we'll even everything out. All right, think we like that. And I just kind of tidy up the sides. And this is how I get that perfect coffin shape. All right, and then we just go ahead and take the shine away from the tip. The reason why I like these tips is that it is thin enough, and because I do have a base coat, a peel-off base coat on, I don't want to like blend it, because then that's going to get up the base coat. So I'm just concentrating the file on the tip. If these tips came matte, then that would be so perfect. And just gonna wipe the dust off with some alcohol. So we're gonna be using these two colors of patty gel. We got nude and ink. All right, so I'm gonna start off with ink, and I have my dampen dish full of alcohol. I use 91%. So go ahead and get my brush ready. So we're gonna take a little bit of this. Well, a good amount. This nail is long. And we're just gonna do the whole nail in this one. Hopefully that is enough. And it kind of helps to, okay. Like, kind of helps to put it in the middle. I went up a little too high, but it's been a minute since I used ink. I was like, you know, I'm feeling black. Probably because that's what I got on today. But we're just gonna go ahead and pat this in place. I think this may be enough. And as always, I like to work around the cuticle area first. And patty gel gives you that time that you need. Even if you may need a little bit more. Kind of pushing back the product. I kind of like it when it's not like super sheer, but when it's kind of sheer towards the cuticle area and then it gets into the color. I don't know if that makes sense, but I kind of like that. So we're just cleaning that up. Okay. And then we're just gonna pat the rest of it down the nail. Oh yeah, perfect choice. Because y'all know I can wear some pink nails down. I love pink. But I don't know, something in me was like, how about we try this today? I actually sat down to do my nails and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. But I'm sure whatever I come up with, it's gonna be fire. I just need the start of an idea and then I can build from there. I'm like, ooh, okay. All right, so, and then I'm also trying to keep the structure and everything that I need. Keeping that apex, I mean, not too high. Nice and high, but not too high. All right, so we're just gonna work this down the nail. It should be enough. I don't want to put any more on here. So we're just gonna pat that. Come on, girl. Be enough. I just need to see on this side. Okay, I may need just a tad bit. No, we're gonna make this stretch. Come on. No, I'm gonna need a little bit. I'm gonna need a little bit. Yes, sharing it out just a little too much. So we're just gonna put a little more on the tip here. Now that looks crazy. And just blend this back. I could have did this and, like, you know, cured the first layer and then put the second layer on. You can definitely do that. I just like to get it done in one go. Especially if it's just a solid color. It's fine. All right, so I'll push that back. And then now we can just make sure everything is smooth. And brush it on down. Blend everything together. I'm constantly making sure everything is even. So yeah, I take a little bit more time patting everything in place. I mean, you could fix it, you know, with filing. I like to cut down on as much filing as I can, so I make sure this is exactly how I want it. Okay, I think I can work with that. And then because it does get a little warm, you know, around your cuticle area, if it begins to slide a little bit, just clean it up before you cure. And then that is the thickness of it. Not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and cure this. And I'm gonna do the same thing on my middle finger. We're gonna do a full black nail. When the nail's a little longer, I probably should have done this with the pinky, but I like to do the toothpaste method. And just kind of place it down and kind of make sure this cuticle is right. But yeah, people always give me great compliments on the patty gel formula. They're like, this is so easy to work with. And that was just honestly my goal when creating this. It's just making something that is really easy to work with. I love my formula, and a lot of y'all do too. And if you guys are new here, the Patty Gel is my brand of Polygel. It's available on my website. I will leave the links down below if you guys are interested. I'm just gonna go ahead and spread this about. All right, and just, my finger touched it. All right, and just making my final tweaks on it. All right, and we cure. And I'm gonna use the nude. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of this I shouldn't need that much. And we're just gonna do a French tip. So this is my nail bed color. And tuck that. Ooh, I love nude, okay? This is such a gorgeous color. Okay, and I like for my nail bed area to be elongated, so that's what we're doing. But as y'all can see, it's coming together. And this one is my crooked my crooked finger, so I have to make sure when I'm forming my little faux nail bed shape that it is straight. All right, and then I do one last check on the side because I want the wings of the French, of the black, to be crisp. Okay, like so. Let me go ahead and cure that before I mess it up. Okay, nail beds are on, and we're gonna go ahead and do our black tips. And we're just gonna make sure this goes where it needs to go. Beautiful. I was thinking, I don't know, I'm gonna file first, and then if I have to, I'll go ahead and cap it and clear. But I wanted to make it high enough to where I don't have to. We'll see though. But we just go ahead and pat this down the nail. All right, so I'm still trying to keep everything nice and thin. We're looking good. But yeah, I don't get it as much anymore, but people used to be like, your nails are so thick. I don't know. It's like, if I make them any thinner, they're gonna break. I think some of you guys are confusing, you know, a curve in my nail. Like, this is my curviest nail with thickness. So, but yeah, I am trying to make them, you know, structurally thin, not just thin for no reason. Structurally thin. But I think I'm doing all right. So we're just gonna continue. Just gonna push some back just a little bit. Yeah, I think I'll be all right. I made this little hump, the little tip of the of the of the nail bed area. I made that a little higher so I can file it down and it can be crisp. Hopefully that works out. Because I don't want to add any more because I think I have enough on here. I don't want to add any more. We good. I'm just gonna, do some correction with the file a little bit. You can probably pat a little bit more down here. Just kind of fix this shape a little bit. But we're good. So let me just play around with this a little bit more and then I'll cure it. All right, I think I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and cure it before I mess it up. Okay, working on the last black tip. I'll make sure I have enough for the thumb. But as I was doing these, I am going to put some clear just around the apex, the middle area, and around here, just because when I file, I don't want to file away any of the patty gel. So yeah, we're gonna have to encapsulate that section. So just keeping that in mind as I'm working. Oh, but this is going by so much faster than I was anticipating. Because I'm able to just mold this and put the patty gel where I need it to be. And just making sure we have enough. Tucked in the corner. Because I like it when it comes to like a point, when it's real crispy. And you just want to make sure you're using like light pressure. You don't have to, the patty gel thick, but you ain't got to bang on it. So just make sure, you're using a fairly light hand. All right, I like that side. And that's, it gives you time to play around with it too, so that's my favorite part. I ain't got to rush. All right, so we got this one where I want it to be. So let's go ahead and cure that. Now we're gonna go in with the clear patty gel and just, like I said, protect our little nail bed area part. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to put just a little bit. I don't want to cap the full nail because it doesn't need it. I just want to protect this area. That might be too much. But we gon' just kind of, oh yeah, that's definitely too much. Okay, let's take, I can use that for the other nail. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna concentrate it right here. You gotta work a tad bit wetter. Well, I say that like it's acrylic, but you have to use a little bit more alcohol with the clear because it's clear, so you know it is a little bit more stickier. So if you feel like your brush is sticking to it, then wet it some more. It just needs to be a little more wet. Okay, but as you can see, we're just, I'm concentrating it on those areas, the corners, and our little nail bed area. It's probably gonna end up. And then what I like to do is just kind of smooth it out so there's not any harsh like line of demarcation. So I guess it's kind of like encapsulating a little bit, but not entirely. I just want enough to cover that area. We're going to end up filing it anyway, but it's going to protect the corners, hopefully. Hopefully. So yeah, I just kind of like to smooth it out so it's not such a harsh transition. Like so. And then I'm just going to use what I got on this and do the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna need just a little bit more. I'm just making sure we have enough in our corners. And blending it. Oh, the black tips look cute though. It's not all the way down on this side. Okay, when I can't get to it the way I need to. All right, I'm just gonna pull the excess over here. To make sure it goes all the way down to the corner here. Okie doke. And then once we like that placement, I'm just gonna smooth the edges. All right, go ahead and cure. After we done all of that, so after curing, I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe the tacky layer off so we can do our filing and shaping. So just keep in mind that this is softer than acrylic, so you don't want to file too much because you can easily file off everything. So don't foul too hard. Okay, nails are filed, shaped, buffed, and washed. So today we're going to be doing some transfer foils. I was feeling these. Yeah, I want to use these because I'm feeling like, I don't know, Lisa Frankish. I got some old transfer foil. Hopefully it still works. Okay, so the first one, I'm just gonna do this kind of like one at a time. Okay, so for my pinky, I'm gonna just tap some out. I'm gonna paint it. I am gonna outline it, so it doesn't have to be like perfect, but I want it close enough. I'm gonna do an outline of where I want that to be. I want it a little deeper. I think that should be all right, but we're gonna deepen the French a little bit. Oh, I was way off. Okay, like so. And just painting the rest of that. All right, we got that one painted. And I kind of just want to do like kind of an abstract. Hopefully that's gonna show the way that I want. All right, and let me go ahead and cure. Cut a piece of this off and place that down. You gotta put a good amount of pressure on this, so I'm gonna use this little silicone tool here to push it down and really push it. Okay, let's all say a prayer that this transferred good. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay, let me get this side. Hold up. Okay. Some of it didn't. Okay, we're gonna get all these pieces. Okay, and we are going to get this corner. All right, yeah, as I'm releasing it, I'm checking to make sure these pieces is transferring. Okay, I can work with that. I definitely can work with that. And I'm just gonna use this same piece right here. Put that right there. I'm gonna use this as a stand. And firmly press that down. Okay, okay. And then I'm gonna place this one over that. Ooh, okay, okay, okay. Oh yeah, that turned out amazing. All right, so now I'm gonna apply the top coat. No. All right, so now I'm gonna apply some base coat. I want to do some isolated chrome, so we're gonna apply this, and then I may just buff this instead of putting a matte top coat, cause I don't want this to be like too thick of a layer. But we're gonna go ahead and put on the base. I'm gonna skip the middle finger because I'm gonna do some crystals on that one, so I'm only putting the base for the isolated chrome. All right, and make sure the cuticles are clean. All right, go ahead and cure that. And, all right, so we're gonna wipe off the tacky layer. And then we're gonna buff the surface. All right, so we got everything buffed, and I wiped that I used alcohol to wipe the dust off, and now we're gonna go in with the Macart rhinestone glue. This works really well for me for the isolated chrome. We're gonna use this. I kind of bounce between this and the Jimby Crazy Top Thick. I will say that, I don't know, I think I like, for the isolated chrome, I like the consistency of the Macart rhinestone glue a little better. The Crazy Top is just a tad bit too thick. It's a little hard for me to kind of do the swoops and the lines. I mean, you can still do it, but you know, I like to use stuff that's easy. So we're gonna load our long brush up, and it doesn't have to be too perfect. I actually kind of just want to, you know, do a little, well, I guess I can. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna outline the French. I'm gonna try to do it on one side. I want like the glob to start on one side, and then we're just gonna that's probably not gonna be as clean as I want it, but something like that. Let's go ahead and flash cure that. That might just be what I need. Okay, we're gonna go back over that just to thicken up this line a bit. I want to make it a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more 3D-ish. Like so. And then I'm just gonna do some abstract blobs around this. Okay. Ooh, yes. All right, I want that raised just a little bit more. Bit more on this side. Should I go ahead and connect this? I think I probably should. All right. Let's go ahead and cure that. Well, flash cure. We're going to do a full cure after I get everything where I want it to be. This is just to stop it from moving. All right, so I've already did this one and flash cured. I just want to add a little bit more oomph to it. Gonna go ahead and flash cure that. And we're just gonna do a simple outline on this one. And cure. All right, and we're gonna use this gold chrome. I know y'all probably tired of seeing it, but I don't care. I love it. I love isolated chrome. All right, so we're just gonna take just a little bit. We don't need that much. Okay, and rub this on. Yeah, that is what I want. Making sure to get the sides of our glob as well. Ooh, that is cute. All right, and the same thing on this. Oh, yes. I love that. I use the opposite end to kind of wipe off the excess. All right, I was hoping my base coat. I saw one girl talk about how the base coat hack works. So that is what I tried. Cause sometimes you don't want to put like a matte top coat because it adds like an extra layer. And I'm trying to keep these thin, so I do appreciate that the base coat works. All right, and then yeah, I just use the opposite end to clean up any excess. A clean sponge. Oh, okay. I can definitely work with that. And we're just gonna clean up this side. Yay. Love it. Love it when things work out. Oh, this looks so good. All right, so now we're just gonna top coat everything. You might wanna have a dedicated top coat for this, but I just try to float it over it. But okay, none is getting on my brush, so I think we're good. But yeah, just top coats. Try not to have it pull up right there. And all right, it's bling time. I need to see if I can find that old jingle that I used to use for bling time. Of course, I want to add a lot of something right here. I'm trying to keep it in the center. I probably don't need all that, but we just going for it. All right, so we're gonna plop you down. Oh yeah, we're going for extra blingy. And we're gonna have a little picture frame. And one right there. And we're gonna plop you inside. Okay, inside I said. All right, and of course, you know, we're gonna straighten everything. Press it down. Trying to straighten it up. Right, I want to clean this off. I want to keep it as pristine as possible. I think I'm gonna have to flash cure this just so it can stay where I want it to stay. Okay, I'm just going to commit. Let's go ahead and flash cure this. All right, and then add a little bit over here. Oh, I ain't putting none over there, did I? I can't remember, I can't see. I probably should use another brush, but this is what I got out. This is what's loaded, so. Right, and oh yeah. Ooh, okay, I like that. Go ahead and flash cure. Oh man, that is cute. That into this. And some caviar beads. We'll keep it simple. All right, so let's go ahead and clean up excess. So I went up too far. I just want to drop a little bit of top coat on top of these caviar beads. Just so everything stays golden at least for a couple days. Okay. I can live with that. All right, and then finally, I'm just gonna top coat around all of this and on top of the gold. And then I'll use my nail art brush to get in between the crevices. So everything is seamless. All right, our final care. And some cuticle oil. All right, here is the finished look. These turned out amazing. I wasn't sure what I was doing. I knew I wanted to use some of them transfer foils, and oh my, these turned out really well. Me like. Let's wipe the grease off. Oh, but yes, I like these. I like these a lot. All right. I just love it when I come into the nail lab and kind of just do what I do, and then I don't know what's gonna happen, and then this happens. So of course I had to come outside so you guys can see in the natural sunlight. I am loving how colorful these are. Super cute. I don't typically use black enough, so I really actually like this. In real life, I wear a lot of black. But yeah, I am loving the colorful cheetah, leopard. I don't know. I could never tell the difference. But these are super cute. And me likey a lot. Ooh. So yeah, would y'all wear these? You look tired.
Hot. I'm tired and hot. I'm running around.
Well, I would like to show you my nails.
I didn't see them yet. Come on.
Oh, look at that face, Cheryl. Look at that face.
It's going. Oh my.
Ooh, can I take a look at them? Can I take a look into my
That
nails?
is interesting. What is happening? What is this?
What is this, you say?
What is this? These squiggles and designs and multiple color. What? These kind of dope. Yeah, these kind of fire.
Thank you.
What's happening in here? What's this? What's all of this color swiggly stuff? How you do that?
I drew
Can I
it.
take a look?
Lies. Lies.
No, it's a foil transfer.
Oh.
Oh, but can you guess what I use for this?
No, I can't.
It's patty gel.
Oh, okay.
Take it.
Right. It's only. What's that? Black ink.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, it took me a while.
Yeah.
That's cool. So wait, the foil multicolored?
Yep.
That's crazy. Interesting.
Right?
All right. They're different.
Thank you.
Can I take a look at my
Sure, come here.
Come on, Maya, your turn.
What you think of mommy's nails?
Wow, so many stripes. So many stripes and patterns.
Yeah.
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 Do you like them?
Yeah.
You like the gems?
Yeah, those are like squares.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and look at the spots and these ones. Those like tigers and cheetah like that. Tigers.
This is the outro to the Long Hair Pretty Nail Show. Yeah.